Welcome back Switchheads, and I trust you're all well. To be honest, Onion Assault seemed a little bit of a quirky platformer, and I just thought, heck, why not? This may be a little gem and a bit of a laugh at the very least. And with that, at any point during this video you find yourself liking what you're watching, then go ahead and hit them like and subscribe buttons to get yourself more. Let's get going, shall we? Story. This one's rather basic as stories go. An army rocks up to your house and you and your mum defeat them, and then you both kind of go looking for who the heck sent them, and ultimately lessons will be taught. Gameplay. Weirdly enough, you can actually pick to play the mother, or I think it's the son, and swap at the start of each level. You can literally pick onions out of the ground and also other vegetables as you progress and throw them at enemies, and this includes the enemies themselves, as in, well, you can land on their head, pick them up and throw them at other enemies or switches or the like. This does have a feel of fun, and I liked lobbing the enemies at other enemies. I guess waste not, want not, if you like. This is achieved, as I mentioned, by jumping on their heads, and kind of for the most part made picking the actual veg out of the ground kind of pointless, although there's coins here and there to gather as well. The enemies do have a few different shapes and sizes, and even flying and shooting enemies, which added a little bit of variety to the gameplay. And as you progress, there are some larger kind of mini bosses that you have to battle as well. I'm thinking by now we should really get onto the platforming, as it is a platformer after all. I would say to start with, it's not greatly taxing and eases you in well, and it does start to add elements to the fray as you progress, like ladders and platforms that Rockman stood on. It does get more difficult the further in you go, but I wouldn't expect too much. Each level is set in a stage with a different style to it, which kind of helps you, well, not get bored during playing. And yes, at the end of these there is a boss, although these do have a little challenge to them, but once worked out, it's all down to your reactions to complete them. Onion Assault does have some very mild puzzling as well, which I found at times I had to think out of the box to get past, unless there was another way and I was just not picking it up. If I had any negatives about this one, it would be how sensitive the game feels. Just feels like at times it just works great, and then at other times it just lets you down by not responding to your button press fast enough. This does not, however, happen enough to spoil the gameplay, visuals and sound. It is, as you can see, bright and cartoony and very old school, with a nice modern feel to it. The music is okay, it does change depending on the level you're playing. Sound effects are clear and do what you expect, but nothing really special here. The score. In short, this one's fun and a little frustrating at times. There's a good game in here that, although never reaches greatness, it does have its own style, and some great platforming gameplay for the price. It also has some nice gameplay mechanics, like puzzling and interesting enemies, and this led me to give Onion Assault a 7 out of 10. Why not leave your thoughts down in the comments, like and subscribe for more weekly content, and thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and join our Switchheads community Discord as well, and be safe out there, because life is better when we switch together.